I think I put England in the same bracket as India, in so much as I feel like England need a strong tournament.
Hmm.
And I like the look of their squad. I mean, we don't. I mean, we know what McCullum's trying to do. We look. You look at players like Butler, Jacob Bethel,
Yeah.
Harry Brook, Ben Duckett, Liam Livingston. Or you look at those players. Even Jamie Smith. You look at Phil
Hmm.
Salters. You look at those players, and you know if it comes off, England win. I
Yeah.
think it's just obvious. Like if it comes off and they actually play the brand of cricket they like to play, they will win the match. So I'm not going to call England a dark horse because they're England, but I do
Hmm.
think that if it clicks, they are probably the hardest team on paper to stop from a batting perspective. But I just like I say, I just think they need a strong tournament. I feel like England have been there's been a lot of rhetoric around the England side, but when you actually look at their record in formats of cricket, it's not been that good.
Yeah. Stellar.
So I
Yeah.
feel like they need a strong tournament to make a statement.
Hmm. Although it's a cliche, but which England team would stand up is more
Mm.
relevant than, say, in case of other teams. Now, Australia, Pat Cummins, he has led them to so many trophies. We've lost count of that. We're not really sure about what his niggle is like at the moment. Meanwhile, obviously, you have got a lot of experience in there. Travis Head, ICC knockouts is a different Travis Head that puts his hand up, and otherwise as well has been in a great run of form. So overall, Australian side, a lot of experience, have this tendency of doing really well at the ICC events, rising to the occasion, and the squad does look well rounded as well.
Yeah, and Australia's the one that I think needs the least analysis because of all the teams in the tournament, Australia are the one that I think everybody would agree. Everyone just knows their role. That does. I am
Hmm.
not saying for any stretch of the imagination, Mega, that means they're going to win. I'm not. That's not my point at all. But their setup is. They're the ones going into the tournament with no question marks. If you see what I mean, every single they're on form. They've just won the Border Gavaskar. They're on a high. They won the World Cup. Sorry, they won the 50 over World Cup. Yes, there may be question marks about if this is their is it still one of their best if it's their best format of cricket. There could be question marks about that, but when I look
Hmm.
at their squad, I don't doubt that every single player knows the role they're expected to play in this tournament.
Yeah.
So as usual with Australia, they will go into the tournament as one of the favourites, and if they don't win it, it will be a shock when they get knocked out. But the one thing we can guarantee, Mega, is they expect to win the tournament. If you see what I mean, they're the one team that you're like, yeah,
Hmm.
they expect to win. Um,
Hmm.
and that
No
takes you a
matter
long
how
way.
they start.
Yeah, no matter what goes on, they
Yeah.
have the self confidence to be like, yeah, we expect to at least be getting into the final four, if not the final.
That's what pedigree does. Now,
Mm.
South Africa, on the other side of the spectrum, when we talk about pedigree, Bavuma obviously leading the side, he would be high on confidence. South African team overall would be high on confidence, albeit different formats. But T20 World Cup made to the finals, are in the finals of the WTC. Now, this is, although they're just in the finals, they have not yet lifted a trophy, but it still should mean a world to their confidence, because even this was something that they'd been deprived of for the longest time. They'd get knocked out in the knockouts. So from here on, obviously it's about building on that confidence, and they've got the resources. Klaasen back in form, that's so important for them, and we've seen the amount of destruction that he can cause when on song. And they obviously also have a lot of experience there in Miller, Makram, and obviously Rabada too. So what does South African squad look like to you?
I love this squad. I really like the South African team. I think the biggest thing about South Africa, which you can't explain by looking at some names, is the culture that Shukra Conrad has
Yeah.
developed for their squad. Everybody is buying into a mission. You know that with the South African team. It's one of the biggest reasons why they got to the World Cup to the World Test Championship final. They know what they're about. They know what they're working towards. The only question mark, so I have no issue with
Hmm.
the balance of the South African side. I think we know those players. I feel like I've seen that side many, many times. So I don't doubt everybody's role within that side. The only question mark I've got about South Africa is just what their focus is. How much does the mission of winning the World Test Championship impact on a tournament that's probably come at a time when it's not their major focus? If you see where I'm coming from. So that's the only question mark. But maybe, Megha, that allows them to play freely, if you get where I'm coming from, without pressure on their shoulders. They've almost done the thing that was the pressure, which is getting to the World Test Championship final. So maybe this will be one of the freest South African sides we see in terms of how they approach the tournament.